You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, Montgomery County. How is everybody today? We have cloudy skies, but sunshine in our veins.
Okay, this is Toast the Town with Christy and Mel, but I don't know where Mel is. This is somehow.
I was fixing to say all that. Dang.
I know, but she was a little bit too happy. It was kind of creepy. I promise it says.
Anyway, how are you today, Christy?
You know what? Life is interesting these days, isn't it?
It is.
And you know, we've been, everybody's kind of going through the motions, trying to figure out this new temporary normal that we all have. But we've got every reason to be optimistic.
Absolutely, we do, and especially for the next hour.
Absolutely,
because these people have nothing else to do. Let's face it.
I know, and we've got.
So sit back and
we have
enjoy
some
the
great
ride.
things that we want to share.
Absolutely.
Some friends that we want to talk about. We know that this is a stressful time on everybody. It's a stressful time for us too. But
It is.
But whenever we started this show, almost 2 years ago? Is that right? A year and a half ago? We came out with the commitment that we were going to celebrate the best of Montgomery County and our surrounding communities because
Absolutely.
that's what we care about. It's where we live. This is our community. And the thing is right now we're all kind of avoiding each other and self-quarantining in order to be safe and comply with all the recommendations. But this is still our community, and we still need that sense of community. So we are here, and we're going to be here every Wednesday for Toast of the Town with Christy and Mel so that we can continue to focus on all of the great positive things that are happening in the county, happening in this world around us, because there's always good that we can find even in all the craziness.
Absolutely, and I think that we have a certain group of people that follow us and listen to us throughout the week. That aren't able to catch us on Wednesday. But I think that we'll have more followers when you make your announcement.
Yeah, one of the things too that we want to share, especially on today's show, obviously there's a lot of updates coming out. We've seen press release after press release, live video conferencing, everything on Fox News this morning, and obviously there's a lot of information going on, and everybody is absorbing the information because it's vitally important that everybody kind of get a basic understanding of what's going on. But there's so much more. There are so many great things happening in and around our community. There are people that are taking care of each other. In all the sadness that's gone with some of the cancellations of like HLSR and Montgomery County Fair and Rodeo and Cook-Off and the stock show and how it's affecting these kids.
And personal events, weddings.
Yeah, but you've seen people join together and it's one of the things, and this is probably going to sound crazy, but they've been talking about how this virus has already mutated a couple of times and to adapt to what's going on and how to best spread. And the community is doing the same thing.
Right.
The stock shows were torn apart, but then you saw these satellite stock shows coming together, these online auctions. We as a community are evolving to take care of each other. And to me, that is something that is so commendable. And it's bringing that sense of taking care of each other back that I think we've been missing out on for a while.
I think we have, and some of that comes with the online community and the social online social media sort of thing. And we had sort of retracted and pulled back. So in a way, maybe that prepared us in some sort of way for all of this because we're not going to have that up close and personal thing. But it also is bringing us back closer to our families.
Yeah. And, we get all this time. Of course, kids are at home from school.
Right.
They're saying possibly through the end of the school year, and which has its own challenges. But I know I got an email from Katie's geometry teacher today that Willis ISD is working on a solution to continue online learning through the end of the school year. So, these school districts are engaging each other. They're finding the solutions. And that was really one of the things that I talked about this morning whenever I came on and invited more people to tune in today is let's continue to find new ways to be the solution to these problems that have been created with this crisis. And,
Absolutely.
And people are doing it on their own. And it's such a cool thing to see.
Tell me about what you were saying this morning. I kind of missed some of it about the flowers.
About just skipping over the whole rest of the part.
I think it's heart I mean, it touched my heart. And
Right.
and
Well,
for that
you know,
reason,
there's-
I mean,
so
that's one
businesses-
of the examples.
Businesses are suffering. Businesses are locally owned businesses, as well as some of the larger conglomerates too. But our locally owned businesses are really suffering, and they're trying to find out ways that they can conduct business in some way, shape, or form and stay afloat during this time that we're still all working our way through.
Yeah.
And I have a great friend of mine, Miss Lisa, who is an amazing floral designer. And she had a couple of weddings, obviously, that got postponed that were scheduled for this weekend. But, you know, the flowers were ordered, the flowers got delivered. And it's, okay, I've got these flowers. What can we do? And somebody else said, hey, you know what? I've got glass containers. What if we, you know, put something together? And it's like, why not take those and let people sponsor a floral arrangement to go out to these nurses' stations, to these hospitals, to all of those on the front line of this crisis, just to share a little bit of sunshine and allow
Absolutely.
people to give something and pay it forward. Because there's, you know, I have a lot of friends that are in nursing, a very close personal friend that's in emergency nursing, and they're you know,
Sure
they're
they are.
working every day.
Sure
They've
they
got
are.
kids at home, but they're out there, and not only are they working hard hours and tiring hours, but they're also trying to find something to do with their kids, and they're being exposed to all of these illnesses, you know, not just COVID-19, but also the flu strands that are going around. And, you know, it's just a way to be able to say thank you for sticking with us through this. But it's so great to see these businesses saying, okay, you know, I've got this, you've got this, let's put this together and make this an opportunity for people to do
Right.
something.
And I think that's amazing. I
Yeah.
think it's wonderful.
And you've got, you know, we've got all these great, amazing local restaurants in our communities that are developing these to-go menus where you can not only order individual dinners, but you can get family packs. You know, I know our friends over at Pacific Yard House are offering barbecue packs, family packs, feed a family of 6 for $42. You know, take it
Awesome.
home. It's great. And, you know, but not only them, but you see these caterers who have been booked for years for weddings, that those are being postponed and or canceled or moved to smaller locations. And they're coming out and saying, hey, you know what? We can do some family packs too. So everybody's having to stay on their feet, stay on their toes, constantly work with this ever-changing environment to keep things going.
Absolutely.
And it's so breathtaking to see this evolution of minds and people working together in order to make that happen.
Well, and I think it's amazing. And I think people are amazing. People are resourceful. People will find a way to get through.
Yes.
Especially business owners. Not that they're any tougher, but you know, they have a lot at stake.
Well, and owning and operating a small business, as you know, isn't for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of
No.
work. You know, it takes a lot of energy, and there are a lot of heartaches and a lot of things to overcome. But so I think a lot of small business owners have already been conditioned to, you know, put your nose to the
Right,
grindstone
right,
and keep
and that's
going.
what I'm talking about.
But it is nice to see so many of them coming together and promoting each other,
Right.
to get through this. So, so first of all, before we get into our announcement in a little bit, but I want to go ahead. There have been some interesting developments that have happened already this morning. Obviously, starting yesterday. Is that yesterday? Is that just yesterday? The county judge, Mark Keogh, came out and had amended his recommendations
Down to 50.
down to groups of 50, and the CDC is actually saying, hey, really, you don't need to be hanging out with any more than 9 other people for groups of 10, which is a strange adjustment. They've also mandated that tables in restaurants and bars need to be a minimum of 10 feet apart in order to keep everybody within a safe distance.
Right.
So, so that started yesterday, and which, in my opinion, it was actually positive news because they didn't shut down the restaurants and bars like they did in Harris County in totality. For those of you that may have missed it, Harris County actually came through and shut down all inside dining for all restaurants. You can't go to bars. You can't do anything. The only thing you can do is take it to go. And that's really devastating, not just for the establishments, but also for those individuals that are employed at those establishments that are supporting their families and trying to make a living because they've essentially been put
Drive
out
up
of a
their
job.
income. That's exactly
Yeah.
what they've done.
And the other thing too is that this crisis is causing job loss amongst all levels of employment, population, education, skill sets.
Every level.
It doesn't matter. Businesses are having to readjust how they're going to conduct businesses. Some are making better decisions than others. But for those who are trying to make those adjustments, you have some great companies that are saying, hey, you know what, we're going to be shutting down, but we're going to take care of our employees. We're going to make sure that they're getting their regular pay. You've got a lot of businesses that are figuring out different ways. Okay, well, we're going to stagger our workforce to come in different hours so nobody's overexposed to each other, but we can still conduct business and people can still earn a paycheck. And it's so great to see everybody, because I know when this started, everybody was like, okay, is this real or is this not real? And I think everybody is finally realizing that this is.
I think it's sunk in.
Yeah, this is
I
a real
really
deal.
do.
And the measures, though they seem extreme to us, and seemed really, really extreme 2 days ago, we're starting to realize the purpose behind it, because we've seen the results coming out of Italy, we've seen the results coming out of China, and trying to get ahead of things so that we can flatten that extreme curve of increased cases.
I'm looking forward to probably about 14 days. Well, about 2 weeks from now. That 15-day span. I'm looking forward to that, to see where we are, to see if we expect a sharp upturn, but maybe not as sharp as what others have experienced. And I'm just looking forward to see if that's actually going to make an impact, because it doesn't feel like it.
Right. Well, and I think a lot
I'm-
of it, they told us to expect a spike in confirmed cases, because we're going to start expanding testing. And I know that there are testing facilities that are going up, so that people that are exhibiting symptoms and firmly believe that they could be experiencing symptoms as a result of the COVID-19 virus, where they can go get tested. Now, what they're saying is, and I think this is such a valid point, if you're not exhibiting any symptoms and you are self-quarantining, meaning you're not around people that are susceptible to increased health problems, they're not immuno deficient, thank you, that if you're just a normal person sitting at home and you're going to wait this out like you're supposed to do, you don't have to come get tested.
Right.
If you're not going to, be smart. Use your common sense. Still wash your hands. Don't cough on everybody. Use your hand sanitizer, even if it's homemade. But
Thank you, Holly.
but just getting people accustomed to the idea of, okay, we're going to start testing. Go ahead and prepare for these numbers to get a little bit crazy, because they're going to.
Right.
It doesn't mean we're in a doomsday scenario. This is
Right.
why we're taking the
Correct.
measures that we are in order to get ahead of it.
Correct. And I think that the interesting thing is going to be, if you look at the demographics, a breakdown of the demographics of, what are the age of the people that are going
Right.
to come back positive. I think, my mind is, my understanding of how it will work is that the positives will come back young.
Absolutely, because we're carriers, but not normally those that exhibit the symptoms. And I say we, as if I'm including
I was
the
going
young.
to say, yeah,
It's a stretch.
y'all.
It's a stretch.
Y'all.
But and it's great. It's wonderful that our kids aren't exhibiting symptoms of this. Obviously, that's a huge sense of comfort for all of us that have children that have possibly been exposed to the symptoms to the virus, and that's such a huge relief. But it's making sure that our parents, our grandparents are taken care of, and those that are just physically more impacted by something like this.
Yes.
I was reading a really interesting article this morning that was explaining COVID-19 and why it was different than the flu. Because most people have read on social media or on the internet that how many more fatalities there are every year with the flu. But why this is a little bit different in this particular virus is that it has already mutated a couple of times, because at first it was not passed from animal to humans.
Right.
And then it made that jump, and then it made the jump and has mutated a little bit since. And it is very, very, very contagious, but they call it the lung eater.
Yeah.
And so if you've got lung problems already, you're really susceptible to it, causing even more
Correct.
damage to your life. So,
Correct.
So it's all about being smart. You know, there's so much information out there. I would be willing to bet 90% of it is false. But the thing is the truth of the matter is, as long as you're being responsible, you're washing your hands, you're not being around people more than you absolutely have to, then you're doing the right thing, and we can actually make an impact on this. And I was listening to Chuck Schumer this morning as I was literally pulling my hair out and sitting there criticizing the federal government and President Trump and about not reacting quickly enough, and that we ignored the. And I was so frustrated because
And everybody else has done such a great job of not doing that. Is my
exactly.
It's like, why are you talking?
Well, and it's like, why are you taking a situation that should have no partisan politics attached to it
Absolutely.
and dividing a country that so desperately needs this unification right now?
And everybody seems to be content and happy. And I mean, when you have the governor and the mayor, I mean, they're within the same party and they're arguing amongst themselves.
Yeah.
But when you have both of them and the governor of California all agreeing with the president, who
Yes.
they are at odds all the time,
Right.
that particular group of people, I'm amazed. And I think Schumer is just, never mind.
Well, it's easy. It's
I
it's
can't.
very easy when you're not the man in the arena
Yes, amen.
to be able to judge and say, "Oh, well, we could have done this better." Well, you know what? Good for you. And if you had the foresight to know everything that was going to happen and how this was going to develop, then you should have stood up a long time ago and told everybody that you could see the
Oh,
future.
he's still worried about what's going to happen in November.
I know.
And I,
And I
I
think-
don't even think Trump's worried about what's
I
going to
don't
happen
think
in
so
November.
either. And, and I can't say that I always agree with everything our president says and does. But I will say that I think he has been very proactive in this crisis. I think he has been very malleable during this crisis. Whenever they went to pass the first bill through Congress to get funding to start combating this issue. He went in for like $2 billion. They said, "Hey, we're going to give you 6 or 8 or whatever it
Right.
was," and he was like, "Whatever. We just got to have it. I'm not going to fight you. We can fight, next week."
Right,
Right
right,
now,
right.
Right now, we've got to make this happen because we got to take care of our country.
Well, and that all of the Republicans have been, okay, spend.
Yes.
Spend. Let's do what it takes to get this, to protect the people who have an investment, not only now, but in our future.
Yes.
And to protect the young and to protect the old. The young from school and education and that kind of thing, and the old from obviously from the virus. So I'm terribly impressed with how everyone has acted.
I agree.
With the exception, of Schumer.
And I was just sitting there. I was listening to this madness and thinking, you really should be the grown up in the room right now.
Yeah. Amen.
And it was really disappointing. And I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was like, it's not like this isn't stressful enough. And we, as just regular everyday Americans, are watching our leaders to see how they conduct themselves.
Right.
We're watching how everybody made a big stink because they were talking about how President Trump was out shaking hands and hugging people, and somebody brought it to his attention that
And he
you needed
quit.
to be the example, and he was like, "You're right, I need to be the example," and started readjusting their behaviors to set that example for the American people. So to see them realizing it, catching on, and to see him, it's just absolutely infuriating.
Well, and I have to tell you, there's something in the back of your head that it's when they say, okay, you need to quit shaking hands, you need to quit doing this, you need to quit doing that. There's something in the back of your head that you have to keep going because we're in business and we've
Right.
got to keep appearing and we've got to keep showing up. And we've got, by the way, we got to keep shaking hands and giving hugs and getting all that kind of stuff. And somebody said to me this weekend, "When are you going to stop that?" And I went, yeah.
I know I've started doing elbow bumps yesterday, and I'm a hugger.
Oh,
I'm
me
a
too.
hugger.
Me too.
So it's been a huge adjustment for me, and I know I've had several friends say the same thing, that it's it's weird because you realize, I really am a real hugger. But I saw a report from Italy talking about how Italians, their culture is very physically affectionate. They're very
they are.
touchy-feely,
They are.
vibrant people.
Kiss on each side of the cheek.
Yeah.
They had to stop them from
and
doing that.
how this is going to affect their culture going forward, and which is a very sad thing.
I know.
But I also believe that we as a society are going to rebound from this. This is temporary. We will overcome this, and we will find the solution, and we will come up with a vaccine, at least for this strand. And we'll come back. The stock market will come back. Businesses will bounce back.
Sure.
But we've got to all have the faith and keep taking care of each other. And I think that that's really one of the most important messages we can put out there right now.
Okay, y'all send your checks to.
But, one of the examples of this, I'm a big fan of Jennifer Bruce over at Hello Woodlands. She does such a great job of reporting the headlines on Facebook, on Twitter, and keeping everybody abreast of what's going on. But to me, this speaks volumes, and this news came out an hour ago for those who didn't see it. But the Howard Hughes Corporation announced today that the sale of the 208,000 square foot building in the Woodlands that is home to MD Anderson has sold for $115 million. Business goes on, and people are still looking to the future. Business transactions are still happening. Everybody's having to adjust, but things are still going on, and this community is still going to be the greatest place to live in the nation.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. And again, so here's to Howard Hughes and whoever bought that building and the great things that are going to be here and the great addition to the community it's going to be. And we're going to keep reporting this
Absolutely
good
we are.
news. There's so much
Absolutely.
good news, which is why we're toasting.
Exactly.
It was time for the bubbly to make a reappearance back
I know. I know.
Toast of the Town. So we've got some great news to share, some information that we want everybody to hear.
We're so excited.
That we're so excited about. We hope you're excited about it. We hope you get excited and stay excited
Yeah.
about it. So we're going to take a quick break real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to check out some comments that we see coming in. We want to make sure that we're going to be sharing some information from our elected officials, our community leaders, as well as some of our great business owner friends. If you are sitting at home, which is there's a good possibility, you can watch us live. You can stream us live on IR Lone Star. You can also tune us in to 104.1 and 106.5 FM if you're in the Conroe area. Really easy to turn on that FM dial. So stay tuned. This is Toast of the Town with Christy and Mel, and we'll be right back.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available in Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Toast of the Town with Christy and Mel.
I tell you what, COVID-19 is no excuse for having a bad hair day.
I know. Listen, it's important that I get it right now.
Oh my gosh. Life does go on.
I know.
And hair is very
Hair
important.
is very important. I have told people since I was 10, it's all about the hair. I don't really care what else goes on. It's all about the hair.
So I get up this morning and I know I'm going to be doing this promo video this morning and I'm thinking, okay, I want it to be casual. I'm not brave enough to just go, hey, this is me with no makeup and without my hair done. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to put some makeup on. And I'm gonna kind of fix my hair, but not. I want this to be very comfortable, very relaxed. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this still shot. And for those of you that do Facebook Lives, Facebook chooses the most awkward photos to promo this. And I'm even looking at the show picture and I'm going like this. I'm like, but I'm like, I look like stoned or something. I don't know. But anyway, so just be kind to people. We got to remember to be kind to each other in this time of crisis.
It's a COVID phase.
It is the COVID phase. So one of the things that we want to touch on, obviously a lot of our elected officials and government offices are making some changes right now to adjust and keep everybody safe. A lot of our courtrooms have shut down. So if you have
several criminals.
And so if you've got a case that is on a docket, before you show up for a court date, go to mctx.org and you can go to your court and you can check the docket. You can see the notices that they're posting. They've been really great at sharing the information. Of course, all of our JP courts have been shut down in Montgomery County. So things are still going. The people are still working in the offices behind the scenes. But they're also restricting their exposure to the public to keep everybody safe. So if you do have a case that you're waiting to be heard, make sure you're checking with that court to see what's going on. But I also want to read this from our wonderful district clerk, Miss Melissa Miller. Sweet Melissa with one S.
Yes, Melissa with one S.
And so this is a great information for their general office and the grand jury. At this time, the district clerk's office will remain open to the public and will be fully staffed to serve our community. In an effort to keep our community safe, beginning at 8 a.m. on March 18th, we will limit the number of people entering our lobby to only 3 at a time. We strongly urge you to file electronically and call the office to have your questions answered over the phone instead of coming in person. We encourage everyone to continue practicing good hygiene and stay home if you're sick. The district clerk's office will continue to monitor the situation and adhere to any decisions made by County Judge Mark Keogh. If any updates become available, they will be posted on the website. Also, in accordance with the disaster declaration, the grand jury assembly scheduled for Tuesday, March 24th at 1:30 will proceed as scheduled. Please note that precautions are being taken to ensure your safety. The assembly has been moved to a larger area at 301 North Thompson, Suite 202 in Conroe to allow greater distance between individuals. It will be properly disinfected and sanitized in preparation for your appearance. And this is what I think is so great. Some functions of government must continue. The grand jury is one of those essential functions, and we must proceed. As we proceed, your health and safety are a priority to all of us here at the county, obviously in the city and the state as well. It's still our civic duty. Life is still going to have to continue to go on, just like the grocery stores have to stay open, just like the hospitals have to stay open. We have to keep rolling forward. So thank you so much, District Clerk Melissa Miller, for sharing that information with us.
Thank you. And there's one other thing. They have discontinued, suspended their, what did I tell you earlier?
Passport services.
Passport services, that's right.
Yeah,
and it's not that they're gone. They will be back. You can't go anywhere anyway. Come on.
And they said if you have an appointment already booked, please confirm your appointment before coming. But they're not taking any new appointments right now. It's in an effort to keep everybody safe. We can't travel anyway. They're restricting. Everybody's saying, "Hey, it's time to stay home, people."
The same reason you're listening to us today.
Yes.
We are your guides for the rest of the hour.
Or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyway, so thank you to District Clerk Melissa Miller for
absolutely
continuing your job and doing your best to keep us safe.
And just so you guys know, we reached out to all of our elected official connections in several counties before today's show, just to make sure. And that's actually Melissa responded to our email.
Yeah, and our inquiry.
So we have several different avenues with which we're communicating with these people, and we will keep you updated. And we have a way to do that.
We absolutely will. And and if you're an elected official, community leader, reach out to us. We'll be glad to share the
Right.
information. We want to keep everybody up to date, not only on the technical COVID-19 details that are going on, but with the elements of this community that people need to know about.
Correct. And if there's something you have that is going on or is going to continue, and you're a business owner or you work for a business, let us know that too, because if you've got a way to serve people or whatever your business is, if
Right.
you have a way to serve people, and I mean that in the biggest sense, not food.
Correct.
But, you let us know, because your business will probably explode because people want to get out of the house.
Well, right. And, and everybody is being smart enough to take the necessary precautions.
Sure
Most
they
of
are.
our restaurants enacted stricter sanitation guidelines, way before
Sure.
2 days ago. So people are still, working to keep everybody safe and healthy. But we got to keep our businesses in business, because when this is over, we don't want to just have the Golden Corral open for business. Because let's face it, they have a chocolate fountain that they allow kids to put their hands in. So we want to have more options than just no offense, Golden Corral, but we want to have more options than that. And we have so many great locally owned businesses and locally owned restaurants that if they go away, it's going to be very sad.
We'll be sad.
We will
It
be very sad.
It will
And
be.
where will we go to have happy
know,
hours? So
I know.
so if you have any questions about a business, go check their Facebook pages. Most of these businesses are keeping their public and their fans up to date with what's going on. And you can always reach out to us, because if we don't know the answer, we'll find out the answer.
Absolutely.
And another big part of this whole equation of people that are really being negatively affected by all of this because of these closures are our amazing local musicians and entertainers.
Yes.
Our from our community theater actors to our Josh Fullers and Benny Bryants to all of our friends that are out there that entertain us for a living. They're not able to do that right now. And I will tell you that if you're not familiar with Josh Fuller, go like his page and just follow
Look
him,
up-
because he's so much fun.
Look up the Fuller Street team.
But they
Fuller
have
Street team.
done such a great job. He's done live shows the last 2 days, bringing
They're
live
awesome.
music.
They're awesome.
Last night, I was actually part of the audience for the Mike Ryan virtual concert. There's all kinds of great live music, so you can sit back, fix yourself a cocktail, have a glass of wine, turn on some live music you can watch. In a lot of these funds, you can actually cast it to your TV, so it's almost like being there. And it gives you the opportunity to tip these guys or buy their merchandise or download their music.
Absolutely.
And help support them through this crisis, because these guys,
And not
this
only
is
that,
their living.
You can make it a family event. You
sure
you can
can.
have a cocktail, but you can fix popcorn and cokes for the kids.
Yeah.
And everybody sit around and watch, and it's something that they don't normally get to do.
Or
'cause it's during
or
hours.
invite 8 of your closest friends over, because no
yes.
more than 10. And everybody sit 10 feet apart. But you could do that and
my living room's not that
and
big.
have that kind of
Right.
social interaction that we're
Absolutely.
still going to crave, because that's, as a society, it's
Absolutely.
what we're accustomed to. But there's so many great things going on. I just think it's so commendable that everybody's finding new solutions to do this.
Exactly.
And which I guess is probably rolls us in as a great segue to our big announcement, what we want to do.
I know.
So,
I know.
So as a lot of you know, and I know, Mel, you know, that when Hurricane Harvey hit, it was a very interesting time in my life that that ended up being, it was such a negative. There were so many hardships. It was so challenging. There were so many difficulties, so many people hurting. Ended up being the most amazing experience to watch how humanity comes back from something like that and unites in order to make lives better for everyone else.
Absolutely.
And I think that was kind of a great warm up for us here, at least in this area, for this particular situation that we're dealing with right now. And so I find myself in another interesting situation with lots of changes going on in life. And my big thing is, just like you, still feel, what can we do to help?
Sure.
How can we help? And like everybody else, I've watched some Netflix shows. I've scrolled through social media till I almost made myself crazy, and I've seen like 42,000 requests for somebody to see the 11th picture on my camera roll on my phone.
No.
And sadly, they're really not that interesting. And so I don't even share because nobody wants to see that picture. Anyway, but what can we do to make a difference? And we know everybody wants to have that sense of community. Everybody wants to take care of each other because we want this community to be the same but better when we get on the other side of this crisis.
Absolutely.
So Mel and I have decided,
in all of our infinite wisdom.
in all of our wisdom, I don't know if that's the word.
Infinite.
Yeah.
If we don't believe it, who
Maybe
does?
it's our infinite need for entertainment. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
That we are going to start hosting Facebook Live shows 3 times a day,
Every day.
every day.
Are we going to do it on Sundays too?
Sure, why not? After church services are streaming on Facebook Lives, which I
Yes.
think are wonderful. But what we want to do, and this is twofold. This message goes out to 2 different populations. We want to share the things that are going on in the community to everyone. If you're looking for a restaurant that is serving to-go family packs, if you're looking for somebody to show you a great workout that you can do at home, if you want to know about what virtual museum tours you can do or where you can go if you want to get the kids out of the house because you're going stir crazy and you really don't want to duct tape them in the closet. We want to share those ideas with you while also promoting these small businesses that are really being hit
Absolutely.
hard. So we're going to break it up in 3 different ways. We're going to have a coffee talk, which will be, hey, we're going to update you on the news that we've heard so far, anything that's happened overnight, anything new and exciting. We're going to talk to you at lunchtime, and we're going to tell you about the great specials that are being offered by these restaurants, so you can go ahead and plan ahead for dinner, pick it up, because as much as we all have been hitting the grocery stores, and we'll continue to do that, so people are cooking at home, but sometimes you just don't want to cook.
Many times.
Yeah. So you can support local businesses.
Local business, right.
And local families, because small business are
Sure.
local families.
Sure.
Support them and they have curb to go. You don't even have to get out of the car. They bring you your
Yeah.
food. You knuckle bump.
Absolutely.
You don't have to touch anything. It's great. Keeps you safe. Keeps you safe. Keeps you sane. You don't have to do any dishes. Life's good. And then we're going to start doing some virtual happy hours where we're showcasing local artists, live music. We're also going to be highlighting some local mixologists and let them show you either a great drink you can make at home or a great beer or a great wine that you can pick up at the local grocery store. All these wonderful things to help everybody feel connected
Right.
and stay connected.
Right.
Because it's so vitally important when we go through things like this for everyone to keep caring about each other. So you're probably going to get sick of seeing us or hearing us or all of the above.
All of the above.
But we also know that everybody's bored, and we want to make sure that everybody stays as connected as possible and having fun. And we believe in having fun, obviously, and we do want to celebrate all the goodness that's going in this community. So, so for those of you who are sitting at home, please tune in. It'll be on our Moxie Innovative page. We'll actually share it and everything. But if you're a business owner or a nonprofit organization or whatever that is looking for a way to help get the message out, reach out to us. We want to highlight you. We want to take care of our community like you take care of us every single day.
Right.
Because together we're going to get through this.
Right. And if you're if you're a restaurant, if you're a shop, a boutique,
Yes.
whatever, and you're staying open or delivering or whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're doing to get through this time, whatever arrangements that you're making, we want to know what those are. And
Yes.
the people want to know what those are.
Yeah.
It's free advertising is the first thing, and it's a
Sure.
great way to let people know what you're doing without spending a fortune.
Well, and we're sitting here in beautiful downtown Conroe, which is one of my, this place is close to both of our hearts. And I look, right behind us as Main Street Merchants. They're having a sidewalk sale. They've got some great ponchos and hats and all kinds of really cute stuff that they've got on sale. Across the street, we have Sweet Texas Treasures. They're open. They're saying, come get a new outfit for spring. Temperatures are warming up. Think about that first day when they say, hey, you can go be around people. Don't you want to look super cute? So you can go to Sweet Texas Treasures, or you can go online to the Steel Magnolia Boutique. You can order something great. So whenever you make your debut back to society in the public, you look really cute. Branding Iron next door is still taking orders for personalized business items. There are so many things that you can still continue to do right now, even to support local businesses. So we want to encourage that. And, be safe, be smart, wash your hands. If you're sick, stay home. But engage with these local businesses because we want them around whenever we're on the other side of this.
Absolutely. And we will also provide necessary information for you. If CDC comes out with something and you happen to miss the press release, or somebody comes out with information that you need to know, even if it's Judge Keogh, if he makes another declaration, we're going to be there to let you know what that is as well.
Absolutely. And we want to help connect you with some of the great menu items that are going on. We mentioned, so for those of you that don't know, Pacific Yard House has their food truck set up on Highway 105 West at, I think it was Mr. B's Crawfish or something like that. Anyway, and they are boiling crawfish out there. You can come by, get crawfish. I think it's $5 a pound, and they'll bring it to your car. And if you bring a cooler, and they'll dump it in there, so you don't even have to touch anything from anybody. Or you can get barbecue to go. But the thing is because we all get a hankering for some crawfish.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
That ain't gonna stop anytime soon. So you can swing by there. But there are restaurants, All Star Catering. Excuse me, the bubblies are getting bubbly. All Star Catering is having some great family meals that you
Dinner
you can
tonight.
cook, you can freeze. Great varieties of everything. So there's so many great things that we want to make sure everybody knows about.
Mom's Secret Chef.
Mom's Secret
The
Chef.
Bacchus's business.
Yes,
That's really cool.
And and homemade ingredients. I mean, like it's really like
It's good stuff.
you
It's good
slaved
cooking.
over the stove to cook it yourself.
We
but you
won't
don't have
tell
to.
anybody. Shh.
Yeah, nobody has to know. You can say yes. I slaved over this all day because
Yes, exactly.
I mean, while I was working, because obviously we're all working from home very diligently and focus.
Yeah, because y'all
focus.
aren't all sitting here listening to us cracking up.
No, we're just in the background. But we want to make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Right.
We really do have some great options. And I know that their business is really thinking outside of the box on giving some opportunities for you and 9 other friends to come hang out for an hour and spend some time together before they disperse you and kick you out. But again, just be smart, be safe, be responsible, take care of your neighbor.
Absolutely. And keep us posted. Keep us posted. If you've got something going on or you heard something's going on, give us the details and we'll check it out.
Yeah.
We'll find the details.
I
You just
know.
tell us who, what, when, and where. We'll call and figure it out.
And normally we report on events that are going on, and right now there aren't any
Maybe.
events going on. But there are some that are on the horizon that are waiting to see what's going to happen,
Sure.
what the timeline is going to be for this to finally remedy itself. And so stay tuned. We're going to keep you
Yeah.
with those things that are coming
And
up.
we do still have an election coming up, the city municipal elections, the county runoff elections.
Yes.
We do have that, and we've got people that are eager. It's hard to campaign when you can't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we do have people that are running that we need to let you know about. Too.
Right. Well, and we have most of our candidates are being very responsible and realizing that right now is not the time to campaign.
Sure.
Right now is the time to exhibit leadership and take care of each other and take the
Absolutely.
measures necessary in
Absolutely.
order to keep us all safe. So, but if you have a message that you want to get out, if you have a great special you want us to share, even if you want us to come by, we'll come by and talk to you and we'll share your message with everybody.
Yeah.
We're focused on doing whatever it takes, contributing however we can in order to make this situation as easy on everyone as possible. So when we do get on the other side, life can return back to an even greater normal.
A greater normal.
A greater normal.
I like that,
Yeah.
Christy.
So
That's
make sure
awesome.
that you like and follow the Moxie Innovative page because
Yes,
you're not going to
please.
want to miss Live with Moxie
Yeah.
or Live with Moxie.
Live with Moxie or live with Moxie?
I know, it's
well,
both.
it depends. If we wake up late, you're going to live with Moxie. Otherwise, it'll just be live with Moxie.
Well, I think everybody needs to. I think we're all living with a little bit of Moxie right
Sure.
now.
Well, it takes a living with Moxie.
It does, and this is a time to be brave and find your faith. There are some really great, encouraging messages that are going on. There are some positivity that's going on. Find your faith because Jesus is the one that's going to get us through all this.
Yes, absolutely.
And we gotta stay strong and stay together. And so just take this as an opportunity to find new things that maybe you have forgotten about or didn't know about, because every setback is an opportunity waiting to happen.
Absolutely.
And I really think just seeing how the communities are coming together, how people are rebounding, reestablishing, it is such a heartwarming experience to see all of this greatness coming out of something that's so scary, almost crippling to some extent.
Well, the scary part is the unknown, and if everybody will remember what they do know, and that's that we're a community.
We
and
are.
We can depend on each other because we have before.
Right. And even though we're at home and we're self-quarantining, we're still a community.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
so the whole point of these shows too is going to be, we want your engagement. We want to sit around and everybody have a cup of coffee and be talking about whatever.
Yeah. Hey, and during the live events, if you want to get on and talk to us and send us messages,
Yes.
please do. We'll read them. We're going to it's going to be a monumental effort to put it on several different places at one time. And of course, at first, it's going to be a little more difficult because
Yeah.
we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
so.
but for all of us that are just trying to figure out what we can do to help, I know that a good friend of mine, Ben Leckler, who is one of the owners over at Marshall's Tavern, he took it upon himself when he found out that school was going to be closing, chose 2 days and has been distributing over 1,000 meals to Conroe ISD kids that were otherwise not going to be fed with the closure of schools. Put everything in a sack. Yeah, they had breakfast and lunch in all of them, and had a drive-through service, just passing them out, not asking for anything in return. But once again, just taking care of the community. And you see so many people stepping up to do that. And it's really just very, very refreshing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And encouraging
And
all of that
encouraging.
sort of thing. Okay, and notices from school districts and all of that sort of thing.
Yes.
We will keep you abreast of it. Anything important that you need to know. I keep thinking of new places that we
Yeah.
need to make sure we include. But anything that that you need to know, we will make sure that
Yes.
we include it.
Yeah. So if you are a local musician or artist and you would like to have your music showcased or at least share your information,
You don't have to know us.
reach
you don't
out
have
to me.
know anything. Reach out.
So
to,
my goal
yeah.
is goal is to wear a different T-shirt for every show every day, not every show every day, but every day, promoting a local artist or a local organization.
Aren't you sneaky?
Because we want people to see. We want to share what your Spotify links are. We want people to get to know your music and know who you are. And it ain't much, but it's what we can do.
Sure, absolutely.
If I had the $1 trillion that they're fixing to mail out to taxpayers here and in the country, I would take care of as many people as I could. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to focus on doing what we do best, and that's sharing information and making everybody smile.
Yes, and I do want you to know that Christy and I both have we're big networkers. Christy's a real networker.
Well, it's just
You have your fingers
it's all
everywhere.
about relationships.
I know, it
and that's
is.
how we
And
get through things like
I'm,
this.
I'm a political networker. I mean everything, but really in politics. But what I was going to say is we are connected to enough different places that if it's news, we'll have it.
Yeah, and we're going to spread your message because we want everybody to know.
Exactly.
Because that's how we get through things like this is
Exactly.
everybody working
and
together.
And it's local news. So if you don't have to watch
It is
Channel
local
2 or
news.
13, you can just
yeah, just tune into us.
Yeah.
We're going to be like out on the town.
Exactly.
Responsibly.
10 feet apart
10
at
feet
all
apart.
times.
I know. Except for right now, we're like
We're 8. Six.
something ish.
6.
But anyway, if you've got something you want to share, let us know. We want to take care of each other. As trying as this is, as difficult and unprecedented as this is right now, to me, it's also probably going to be a shining moment of how we all got through this together.
I agree. Anyway, where are they supposed to send the information? To our Moxie page?
Yeah, you can go
Messenger?
and message us on our Moxie page. You can also email us, Melanie@moxieinnovative.com or Christy
You know what?
in the most complicated spelling.
I was fixing to say, what would be easier is if we just send it to our Moxie Gmail address. Okay. So moxieinnovative@gmail.com. moxieinnovative@gmail.com. And we will both of us check that email account, and we will get your information, and we will get it online. You're smiling.
I'm smiling because it's so nice to see people commenting on the show. We want to make sure that there are so many great things going on. And this is one other thing because my friend Stephen Nelway commented on here. Stephen and his family own Events Plus, and they've been highly impacted by the closure.
What do
of,
they do?
They offer all kinds of rental equipment, from tents to
Tables
table
and
linens to
chairs,
tables to
right.
chairs, you name it. And they have been highly impacted by the cancellation of so
imagine.
many events that are going on. And they've got another little side gig that we're going to be focusing on one of these shows because I think it's so brilliant and they're so good at it. But if you have a wedding or event coming up and your venue is canceled on you, or you've had to reduce your size, and you're like, hey, we're going to get married at home, or we're going to get married in somebody's backyard, give Stephen over at Events Plus a call, because he can hook you up with some great cocktail tables and some beautiful linens and those great bar stools so that you can still make your event magnificent.
Sure.
And you don't have to change your wedding date.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he will set the chairs up 10 feet apart. I'm telling you.
If that's what you asked for, that's what he'll do. But he and his beautiful, amazing wife Jamie,
She
and their
is
two great
gorgeous.
kids who both show animals, both at HLSR and Montgomery County and beyond, give back so much to the community. So they really are partners in so many ways to different things that go on in our community. So if you're looking for something like that, then they can hook you up.
Yeah. And they also own Twisted Keto, but I love them for
That's
that.
what I was just talking about. We're going to showcase them later. Come on, why you gotta bust my bubbles here? I'm sitting
sorry.
here.
I'm sorry.
I'm like
just love it. I
working
just
so
gotta
hard.
go.
This is a lead in. We're going to tease it a little bit. Nope. Mel's like, well, let me just blast this out of the water.
I always burst your bubble.
Anyway,
I don't
know.
care.
This is what happens when you're quarantined for a week already. So,
exactly.
but if you want to talk to us, give us a call.
Yes.
Shoot us a message. We're here for you. We're here to serve this community.
And next Wednesday, we're going to try to have a really cool show, and we may take some call-ins. So you guys get ready to do that. We're going to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, if you don't want to come in, don't want to expose yourself,
Yeah,
we
but you wanna
can do
talk-
call-ins.
Call-ins.
We just want to share what's
or your
going
schedule
on.
won't allow you to come in.
Yeah, we want to share what's going on, how you're coping, how you're dealing with all this craziness. Because let's just deal with it. This is crazy. It's crazy.
It is. But the good news is that we're all crazy too.
Yes, and we're all going through the same thing. We're all
Yes.
struggling together, and because we can do that, we can lock elbows, not hold hands.
Yeah.
Lock elbows, and weather the storm together. Because really, that's what community is all about. So,
Absolutely.
we're going to have some fun. We're going to support our local businesses. We're going to support our local elected officials and community leaders that are having to make the hard choices right now. And we're going to just keep trucking through.
Absolutely.
Just keep swimming.
And yes, Dory. And I want to commend you for this, because this was really your bailiwick. I mean, and this is your bailiwick. So therefore, you came up with the initial idea, and I think it's awesome. And I think you're awesome.
Well, I think you're awesome, Mel, and I
Okay,
think Dick's awesome.
This yeah, Dick, we love you too.
who comes up here
Hello?
and
He's
has
not
to
even acknowledging
it
it.
has to put up with us for an hour every
know.
week. But really, that's what
I'm
we
trying
want.
not to touch my face. I'm like, my eyes are going nuts right now. I don't know if it's allergies. I'm like, well, I'm not supposed to
Oh my
touch
gosh!
my face.
This pollen, in addition to everything else,
I know.
is making me crazy. Because I'm like, I can't if I could use my toe to scratch my nose, I'd probably feel better about things. But everybody, there's some great memes that are going around on Facebook about it's just pollen, folks. I don't need your death stare. Because it's just that time of year.
Annie, and bless her heart, I just love her to death. She's so funny. She's been sitting, the TV's been on constantly. You don't touch your face, wash your hands, touch your face, whatever, And she came in this morning. She goes, throat sore. I said, your throat sore? She said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, get something to drink. My nose sore. I said, your nose is sore. Breathe. I said, you can't breathe? She goes, right. I go, okay, that's pollen. You don't have to worry about it. And she turned around, walked out of the room. I don't know what she wanted me to do. Load her up and take her to the hospital. I'm not real sure, but
I
she
don't
was
know.
okay with it.
I'm like thinking the
throat
beach is a
sore.
great idea.
I think it is too.
Yeah, you got the beach. We have some great state parks. We have some great hiking trails.
Hey,
you can
by
stay
the
plenty
way-
far away from
By
everybody
the way,
and get outside.
you and I had this grand plan to take kids to the state park.
Yeah.
In Huntsville and to Jones State Park, and them zip locked.
Well, but some of them are, but there are still a lot of our parks that are open, hiking trails that are open that they can't lock up. So, you might check their websites and just make sure something's
yeah,
open, but
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
great opportunity to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. Make memories, play board games,
Aw,
put
it'll be
puzzles
fun.
together.
It'll be fun.
You know, it's there.
Let 'em
There
tell
are
you about
so
their sore
many.
throat.
There are so many great opportunities out here for us to reconnect with our kids in different ways.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're struggling. I lost track season and baseball season. I don't even know what to do with myself at this point. But but I can still go out and throw the ball with Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I can still go out there. I ain't running with Katie, but I can clap as she runs and jumps over things. Because hey, that's what we do.
Exactly.
But
Okay.
just remember, this is such a great opportunity. We're going to seize this chance to show what an amazing community we live
And
in.
we will see you guys tomorrow morning. Watch for our announcements on timing.
Hey, we still got happy hour tonight.
Oh,
Yes. So it
Yippee-ki-yay.
begins. So anyway, reach out. Make sure you like and follow the Moxie Innovative page. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you live with Moxie. Make it a great day.
Today's show was recorded and broadcasted live on irlonestar.com, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and all rights and ownership are reserved to Lone Star Community Radio. For more information regarding this program and Lone Star Community Radio, visit us online at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, serving the community with local programming on TV, radio, and online. If you enjoyed today's program, please support us by sponsorship or starting your own show. Contact us today by phone or text at 936-666-1084 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.